got to know when to hold, know when to fold, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. You're sitting at the table, time enough to count when the dealing's done. Every hand's a winner, and every hand's a loser. Hope that you can hope for is to die and sleep.
Do you have?
What, sorry?
What health conditions do you have?
What?
What health conditions?
Bipolar. I suffer with bipolar and emotional unstable personality disorder.
How does that affect you?
Sorry?
How does that affect you?
It affects me on a daily basis. I have a different routine every day. In regards to the bipolar, one minute I can be very low, next minute I can be very high. So we're now stabilising it by medication that's been prescribed. The emotional unstable personality disorder started off in 2013. That basically was more getting emotional. For the silliest reason, just crying basically for nothing at times. It took me quite a while to get that diagnosis, and in 2023 I was diagnosed with bipolar. I don't know a lot about bipolar, to be honest. I just know that's what my condition is. And yeah, it's controlled at times with medication, but sometimes it's out of control. I can go very low and very high in seconds. I'm quite relaxed this morning because I've just taken my medication. And yeah, if I didn't have that, I would be very, very hyper. I would be very hyperactive. There were signs that definitely something was wrong. I always get very hyper or angry or annoyed over the most silliest thing, but it wasn't known back then. It was misdiagnosed for 13 years by the mental health services, especially here in Derry. They misdiagnosed me every time. I was discharged quite a lot of times. Finish speaking. Jumped out for the window. Start to say the wind. And his final words and final place that I speak. You got to know when to hold. Know when to fold and when to walk away, and when to run. You never control me. Sitting at the table, time enough to count when the dealing's done. Deep, 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 deep. So my first drink, I was in Galia, and it was White Lightning. It was £3 a bottle, and I remember in Galia Park literally lying over the top of flats throwing up, and yeah, it wasn't a great experience, but I'll never forget it. So I was 13 whenever I had my first drink, which isn't really good, but that was just the way it was back then. Everybody had a drink. There was no drugs back then. In the company I was in, there was no drugs. But then it just got out of hand. You know, I wish to God it was only just drink that I had. But I did enjoy a drink for the first number of years before I became addicted to drugs.
What type of drugs?
So basically, back in 2011, I fell down the stairs and broke a bone in my spine, fractured L1 lumbar spine, and I was prescribed very, very strong painkillers, pregabalin, tramadol, diazepam, and I became very, very hooked on them, and I abused the drug. I abused it because I liked the buzz. I abused it because it helped my pain. And yeah, just within 2 or 3 years, it completely took over my life. So then I basically started on the harder stuff, which was cocaine and anything I could get my hands on, to be honest. That's how bad it got for 6 years. and only up until 2017 I was continuously taking it every single day to overcome the trauma that was involved in my childhood. And yeah, I feel that I used that for that reason. I used drugs for that reason, to overcome all the trauma that happened, family matters and so on. But yeah, I'm not proud of that. I'm far from proud. But it was quite easily available back, whenever I was taking it. It still is very, very much available in Derry, and a lot of people don't understand that, they'll not realise they need to get sober until they are sober. You'll never listen to anyone. You'll be in constant denial. You need to make up your own mind, basically, if you want to become sober from drugs or even alcohol. I bought it on the street. It could have been anywhere. There could have been anybody driving around and selling it. It started off with old mates that, one of them was a groomsman at my wedding. He was taking it. They were taking it at my wedding while I wasn't. So I mean, it's more the company I became involved in that was taking it, even though they didn't put it up my nose. I done it myself. But yeah, I think that's a massive part of recovery. It's the company that you keep. Like, I started off with hundreds of friends. In the last number of years, I'm literally on my own for a reason, and that's to stay sober. I haven't relapsed whatsoever. So I'm proud to say today I'm clean 6 years and 7 days. There was good times taking drugs, yes, of course. It started off to be good. It started off to be recreational. You got a good feeling. You thought you were on top of the world. You could have been up to anything, but you actually don't realise how bad you can get. The drugs for me was a release of trauma, but it was also a way of me being able to overcome my bipolar and things that wasn't diagnosed back then. But yeah, it was like fueling a fire. You can't take drugs if you're bipolar. You can't take drugs if you've got a mental health issue. It just brings on a lot more issues on top of that one. It was widely available. A lot of the people I was running with at the time was taking it, so I thought it was okay, but obviously not. My family is completely death on drugs. And yeah, they had to disown me in a way for me to wise up, and but it's called tough love. So everybody thinks that, I've got anxiety, I need medication. Please folks, listen to someone that's been through the bump. You don't need medication if you have anxiety, okay? You don't need that diazepam, you don't need temazepam, you don't need sopaclone to help you sleep. I proved that with the doctors this week. And I'll tell you, it was tough, but I done it, and I never took one sleeping tablet when I was on there. After everything, I was free, okay? And I'm so proud of myself that I passed another drug test, and that's for my family. And then a lot of stuff has happened to me. What's the crack, everybody? How you all doing? Everybody's been texting and asking how am I, and wondering am I okay. I was okay, but I'm currently in hospital for my mental health. A lot of stuff has happened to me recently, and yeah, it's put me right down there, leaving me that it felt very suicidal, and my mental health isn't great. Morning people, everybody's going, why is he so fucking quiet? What's wrong with me? Jesus, whenever I'm on, all I get is abuse, and then whenever I don't come on, it's, well, where are you? What are you doing? What's wrong? It's only an app, folks. Literally, only an app. You don't like when you talk. There's some design in there.
Your TikTok videos, do you think people that watch them know you're bipolar?
Well, it isn't really about the bipolar. It's about my own mental health, my own mental state. If I have a bad day, my music's how I get release. It's not medication anymore, it's not cocaine anymore, it's music and drumsticks, which I have here. So drumsticks is basically my release. I have them here, yeah. So that's the drumsticks. They go everywhere with me. Sean South, folks, from Gary on. Rock bottom for me, Gavin, was basically being rushed in the intensive care in a life support machine. My GCS 2 out of 16, which is meant to be 16 breaths per minute. I was sitting at 2 at one stage. 15 times in 2015 I tried to commit suicide. I tried to hang myself from a gas cylinder in Gaila Park. The firemen and the police and the ambulance saved my life that night. So did people in the street. But, you know, these people thought, oh, this man here's a madman. But I went back in the last couple of weeks and met these people personally and apologised to them and told them, you know, that was my addiction, that wasn't me, it was a different person. It's as if something else takes over your mind. But rock bottom for me was waking up in life support machines with tubes down my throat, being resuscitated. I had to be brought back to life quite a number of times in front of my mother. That to me was the rock bottom I could get to, and especially my own mother having to watch me being resuscitated. Rock bottom is, that's what I would describe as rock bottom, but also being put in a cell as well. I was put in a cell 32 times, Gavin, for the most silliest things that I can show you again. The suicidal ideation just hit me, and it just comes on at any time. So you could be fine one minute and the next minute you want to kill yourself. And for you to stop yourself from doing that, there should be somewhere to go whenever you're feeling that low. And there still isn't to this day, Gavin, and that's my main reason for doing this interview, is to basically get the word out there and say that people are heavily addicted. I know by looking at someone if they're addicted now. I know by talking to someone, and basically I never ever judged anybody, and I never will. It's an addiction. If people's out there selling drugs for money, that's not an addiction, that's completely wrong. They're feeding the addiction of the people that's vulnerable. So, and being vulnerable isn't easy. It's not a good place to be.
What's your plans for the future now?
My plans for the future is hopefully to drum. I'm setting up a band called Addiction Dairy, which is going to be funded by the government, hopefully, for them to fund for uniforms, drum kits, and it's the drum to keep people sober. It doesn't have to be rebel music, it can be any music. Even though my name is Mickey Rebel on TikTok, it's only an act. I can do any type of music. I sing, I dance, and it's all crack, it's all fun, and that's how I get released, as I said. And I've met quite a lot of people on there. I've got a huge following at the minute, and I've got quite a lot of good videos and content, and I will continue to do so. I want to be able to move forward by hopefully setting up an addiction hub for dairy, somewhere where to go when you feel suicidal. So that's my two main objectives, but in the sidelines I'll drum to keep until that happens. I'm the youngest in my family and I've seen a lot, but I haven't seen it all. You know, there has been a lot of things that my other family would have seen that I haven't seen, and it would have been too traumatic for me. And I'm traumatised enough as it is with the bipolar and EUPD, and you know, but I do try to remain positive every single day, and I have a plan in place to never let anybody put me down, no matter who they may be. Stay positive, stay strong, and you know, all or nothing. That's what I say, all or nothing.
You're professional. You wound that up like a professional. Brilliant.
Good man, Gavin. That went well, I think, didn't it?